Hello, esteemed gentlemen. Anger is a gift if you know how to use it. When a Sigma male gets mad, it's not a scene of explosive rage or reckless shouting. It's a quiet, calculated shift that happens beneath the surface, like a calm before a storm that never quite breaks. He doesn't lash out or lose control because, for him, anger is more than just an emotion. It's a tool, and in his hands, it's deadly precise. What unfolds when he's pushed to his limits isn't what you'd expect. It's weird, it's unpredictable, and it leaves everyone around him both fascinated and unnerved. These aren't your typical outbursts. They're strategic, almost unnervingly so. Let's delve into the 7 bizarre things that happen when a Sigma male gets mad, and why it's so unsettling for everyone else. Number 1. They quickly analyze whether to diffuse, deflect, or destroy. When a Sigma male gets mad, his brain flips into overdrive, almost like a supercomputer running a diagnostic. He's not the type to fly off the handle. No, he's far more strategic than that. In mere moments, he's running through his options like a pro. Should he diffuse the situation and neutralize the threat? Should he deflect it with some clever maneuvering, making it disappear without breaking a sweat? Or, if all else fails, should he go for the jugular and destroy the problem entirely? But don't mistake this for some action hero stuff. It's more like a masterful game of mental chess, where he's already 7 steps ahead before anyone realizes the game has started. And here's the funny part. While everyone else is losing their minds in the heat of the moment, he's casually plotting the best course of action, like he's deciding whether to have pizza or salad for dinner. It's not that he doesn't feel the anger. He does, but instead of letting it run wild, he puts it through a filter, analyzing the situation with a calm intensity that throws everyone else off their game. People might expect an explosion, but what they get is a cool, collected response that's almost unsettling in its precision. That's the thing with Sigma males. They don't waste time with the drama. They dissect the problem, assess the risks, and choose the path of least resistance or the most devastating impact with surgical accuracy. It's not about brute force. It's about playing smarter, not harder, which somehow makes them even scarier when they're mad. Number 2. They weaponize silence. When a Sigma male gets mad, he doesn't need to shout or throw things around. He's mastered the art of weaponizing silence, and it's shockingly effective. You know how awkward silence can make people start talking just to fill the void? Well, with a Sigma male, that silence doesn't just sit there, His quiet demeanor is like an invisible pressure that tightens around the room, making everyone nervous and unsure of what's coming next. And that's the genius of it. While everyone else is fumbling around trying to gauge his reaction, he's already got the upper hand without saying a word. That silence isn't just awkward, it's tactical. It makes people start second-guessing their choices, regretting whatever led to this point. They might think, is he mad or is he just thinking? Or worse, is he planning something? It's the ultimate psychological play. A Sigma male doesn't need to engage in the messiness of heated arguments. His silence is more unsettling than any raised voice could ever be. It leaves people hanging, waiting for a bomb that might never even drop, which is exactly the point. They're left squirming in their own discomfort, trying to figure out what just happened while he calmly holds all the cards. It's like the silent treatment, but leveled up to a degree where you start questioning your entire existence just from a few minutes of him saying nothing at all. Number 3. They hold back their inner monster. A Sigma male's anger is like a caged beast, always there just beneath the surface but kept on a tight leash. When he gets mad, there's a moment where he holds back that inner monster with sheer willpower. And it's almost terrifying how calm he remains on the outside. You might think he's unaffected, but the truth is, he's doing the mental equivalent of keeping a wild animal from breaking loose and wreaking havoc. And the crazy part? He does it effortlessly, like he's been training for this his whole life. He's not the guy who explodes in a fit of rage or loses control. No, he's too smart for that. He knows exactly what he's capable of, and that's precisely why he holds back. There's this unspoken understanding that if he lets that beast out, things will get messy, real fast. So instead, he locks it down, breathing through the tension like a Zen master while the storm rages inside him. It's like watching someone walk a tightrope over a volcano, completely unfazed, knowing they could easily tip into chaos but choosing not to. It's both impressive and slightly unnerving because you know that beneath that cool exterior lies a force that, if unleashed, would be absolutely devastating. And here's where the humor kicks in. While he's doing all this internal damage control, the people around him are clueless. They see his calmness and think, oh, he must be fine, if only they knew. But he won't give them the satisfaction of seeing that side of him. That inner monster stays hidden, controlled, and locked away unless absolutely necessary. It's like having a secret weapon that only he knows about, and knowing when to use it is just as important as having it in the first place. Number 4. They know when to walk away. When a Sigma male walks away, it's not because he's weak or defeated. It's because he's mastered the art of knowing when a situation isn't worth his energy. His anger is like a valuable resource, and he's not about to waste it on something or someone that doesn't deserve it. So, instead of engaging in pointless arguments or throwing punches like a hothead, he simply exits. And when he walks away, there's a finality to it that sends a clear message. The conversation is over, the debate is done, and if you're still trying to get a reaction out of him, you've already lost. This isn't some passive-aggressive tactic either. It's a power move wrapped in serenity. Most people would think staying and fighting makes them strong, but a Sigma male knows better. He's got the kind of confidence that doesn't need to prove itself with theatrics. By walking away, he's asserting control over the situation in the most understated way possible. It's the ultimate mic drop, and no words are needed. What's funny is how people react to this. They might interpret it as indifference or assume he's over it, but deep down, they know they've lost him. Once he's decided to leave, there's no coming back. That door's closed, and it's not opening again. And it's that quiet, unshakable certainty that really gets under people's skin. They're left standing there with their unresolved anger while he's already moved on to something far more important. Walking away isn't just about avoiding drama. It's about protecting his peace, and nothing is more valuable to a Sigma male than that. Number 5. They never let their ego speak for them. When a Sigma male gets mad, his ego takes a back seat. While most people let their pride steer the ship, throwing out insults and demanding respect, the Sigma male does the exact opposite. He's not interested in proving himself or making anyone see things his way because, honestly, he's secure enough to not care. His ego isn't fragile, it's practically bulletproof. That's why, even in the heat of the moment, you won't see him puffing up his chest or shouting to be heard. Instead, he'll keep his cool, never letting his ego make a fool out of him. What makes this so unique is that people often mistake his calmness for weakness. They assume that because he's not throwing a tantrum or trying to win, he's somehow losing. But that's the trick. He's winning by not engaging at all. His sense of self isn't tied to anyone else's opinion or validation, so he's got nothing to prove. And this drives people nuts. They want a reaction, something to latch onto, but he won't give them the satisfaction. He's mastered the art of not letting his ego hijack the situation, which in turn gives him complete control over it. Here's the funny part. While others are busy acting out of pride, the Sigma male is already 3 steps ahead, figuring out how to make the whole thing work in his favor. He's thinking, why would I let my ego speak for me when I can handle this quietly and move on with my life? His approach leaves people confused, sometimes even frustrated because they're used to seeing egos clash in a fiery spectacle. But with him, the fire's out before it even begins, and he walks away unscathed. Gentlemen, if you're enjoying our deep dive into Sigma males, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join us for more intriguing insights and fun content. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Number 6, they forgive but never forget. When a Sigma male forgives, it's not the typical, let's move on and pretend it didn't happen type of deal. Sure, he might offer forgiveness, but don't think for a second that means he's forgotten. In fact, he probably has a mental ledger where he's stored away every slight and misstep, not for the sake of holding a grudge, but to make sure he never lets it happen again. It's like a quiet mental note. You've been forgiven, but I'm watching you. He's cool, calm, and collected on the surface, but beneath that, he's keeping tabs, not out of bitterness, but out of a sense of self-preservation. This makes people a little uneasy because they expect forgiveness to come with a clean slate. With the Sigma, it's more like, you're good, for now. He doesn't waste time dwelling on past mistakes, but he's also not naive enough to let history repeat itself. That offense is neatly filed away in his brain for future reference, which is why people often feel like they're tiptoeing around him after they've crossed a line. He's not going to bring it up, but it's clear that he's never going to let his guard down around you the same way again. And here's where it gets kind of funny. People often mistake his forgiveness for softness, thinking they're off the hook. But the Sigma male's version of forgive and never forget is more like, I'll let it go, but don't think for a second I've lost track of what happened. He won't hold it over your head, but it's always there, a quiet reminder that you'd better not mess up again. He's not bitter, he's just prepared, always. Number 7. They use their anger as a catalyst for growth. When a Sigma male gets angry, he doesn't just let that rage simmer until it explodes. Instead, he channels it like some kind of emotional alchemist, turning his anger into pure fuel for growth. It's almost maddening how he flips the script. What should tear him down only makes him sharper, stronger, and more focused. That's the weird thing about him. Anger for most people is something destructive, but for the Sigma, it's a source of power. It's like he's mastered the art of turning every bad hand life deals him into an opportunity for self-upgrade. While others are busy spiraling out of control, he's using that frustration to level up. His anger doesn't get the best of him, it forces him to get better. Maybe he hits the gym harder, dives deeper into his work, or picks up a new skill he's been neglecting. Whatever it is, he channels that energy in a way that leaves everyone else scratching their heads, wondering how he turned what should have been a meltdown into a power move. And here's where it gets a bit funny. People expect him to react like anyone else would, to blow up, snap, or at least show some sign of cracking. But instead, he comes back stronger, almost as if the anger just made him evolve. It's not that he enjoys getting mad, but when it happens, he sees it as a signal to push forward, to grow, and to dominate his own emotions, rather than letting them dominate him. So, while everyone else is dealing with the fallout of their own outbursts, the Sigma male has quietly used his anger to climb to the next level. When a Sigma male gets mad, it's not the explosion people might expect. It's a quiet storm of calculated moves, silent strength, and unmatched self-control. Anger doesn't consume him, it refines him. He deflects drama, channels his rage into progress, and walks away from chaos without letting his ego trip him up. His ability to forgive but never forget keeps him sharp, and his silence speaks volumes louder than any shout ever could. In the end, what makes his anger so unsettling is also what makes it so powerful. It's a force you'll never see coming until it's already reshaped the landscape. The Sigma male doesn't let anger destroy him. He uses it to rebuild himself stronger and more untouchable than ever. Please share this video, gentlemen, subscribe, and leave your comments below. Thanks for tuning in. Take care and bye.